Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday, July 31st, 2021. Shabbat Shalom to all the saints out there. Today's devotional is called Strong and Courageous, and it's brought to us. We're in the book of Joshua, and I've been reading it this week, and I think I'm on chapter 9 or 10 right now. And I made some notes, in chapter 1 this week, and I thought I would share them as I entitled it Strong and Courageous. So many of us today are being beat down by the world, by the system that's being built that is not relying on God's word, but is instead relying on what man can do, and getting people in the world to rely on our leaders for answers to everything, from monetary or economic standpoint, and also now in a health standpoint. We're following these people who many do not have our best interests in mind, and I think that's played out pretty well over the last year and a half, that have not given us the truth, and that many of them have, in fact, are calling good evil and evil good, just like the word says was going to happen. So rather than being beat down, I think we need to lift one another up with the word. And so this word to us today comes to us from the book of Joshua. And I'll read the first 6 verses so we could get a little bit of a handle on what was going on here. Chapter 1, verse 1 starts out, "After the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, son of Nun," Moses' aide, "Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give them to the Israelites. I will give you every place where you set your foot, as I promised Moses. Your territory will extend from the desert to Lebanon, and from the great river, the Euphrates, all the Hittite country, to the great sea on the west. No one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. As I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you." Okay? Now, Joshua continued, obviously, where Moses left off. Joshua was assured by Yahweh that he would be blessed and powerful. Yahweh would never leave him or forsake him. That was the word given to Joshua. We just read it. He was to be a strong and courageous leader, and Joshua was instructed to, and now verse 6 through 9 picks up, and that's where we'll look at our devotional today and some of the notes I took. Verse 6 starts off this way: "Be strong and courageous, because you will lead these people to inherit the land I swore to their forefathers to give them. Be strong and very courageous. Be careful to obey all the law my servant Moses gave you. Do not turn from it to the right or to the left, that you may be successful wherever you go. Do not let this book of the law depart from your mouth. Meditate on it day and night, so that you may be careful to do everything written in it. Then you will be prosperous and successful." Verse 9 says this: "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified and do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." So Joshua was given these words from Yahweh, and the main thing was, of course, to be strong and courageous, but in him, not in his own strength. He was telling Joshua, rely on me to do the fighting for you. Rely on me to lead you. You just need to follow my commands, my laws. And Joshua had no reason to fear anything. And he was promised success if he followed this recipe. And the same holds true today for you and I. He was to follow all the law and the commands and not pick and choose which ones he wanted to follow. So many today cherry pick the word, to make it into something that it's not, or to make it say something that it doesn't say, to fit their itchy ears. And many people are teaching that today in our places of worship, so-called places of worship. Okay, so Joshua wasn't to pick and choose which of the laws he was comfortable with. He was to follow the book of the law, the Torah, to the letter. Joshua certainly had reason to be scared or terrified, as what was about to happen would change his life forever. So this embarking into the land was, I would definitely imagine, a very scary or worrisome situation, being that the people in this land were very strong. They were mean. They were, they were pagans. They were just doing whatever they wanted. They were not following. They were doing the opposite of what Yahweh was commanding Joshua. So he had reason to be scared or terrified as to what would happen. How important is it for us to follow Yahweh's law and commands, his precept, his right rulings? How important is it? It says it right here. Do not go to the left or to the right. Follow my word. We need to be just like Joshua. Follow the commands and also take action. So Joshua also, while following, took action. He listened and then took action. And he listened to the commands and he took action. And we need to be the same way, without fear of these people setting up this beast system in our country, without fear of them telling us that death is around the corner every time we turn on the TV. We need not to fear them. We need to listen to Yahweh above. We need to be very courageous in the process. Why? Because we know Yahweh is with us and will be fighting for us if we're following his commands. If we follow Yeshua, his Messiah, who he sent to us, and obey his commands, which are in fact these very commands, because Yeshua did not come to abolish the law. He came to fulfill the law, because those in the days that those people that he encountered, or the Pharisees, most of them, were following a different law. That's why Yeshua had so much confrontation with them, and he was setting them straight onto what the law really said. So you need to understand that the Pharisees of today's age are doing the same thing. They're taking the word and changing it, or telling you don't need to read that, or you don't need to do that, you don't need to follow that, when Jesus said, my followers, those of you that love me, will follow my commands. Okay? So that is the word today from Joshua chapter 1. Be strong and courageous. And I think that if you meditate and read this today, or this weekend, for yourself, and put it in your head and in your heart, and ask Yahweh, ask him to make you strong and courageous, and offer up yourself to his leadership instead of following every single thing man says. Okay? That's the word today. Thank you for joining me. Please, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment. And that's the word. Thank you very much. Anthony signing off. Blessings.